No, but it brings dinosaurs to life, as it were, as I think skeletons never will. It's a bit thin around the edges, but we'll stiffen that up.
To tease out the story hidden in the Lark's Quarry trackway, Thirlborn made latex casts of the hundreds of prints he found.
Once it dries, this first coat will give us a perfect, detailed replica of the original surface. And it's nice and flexible. We can pull it out from the undercuts.
Look at that. It's definitely a claw, look.
Yeah. No, you can
The latex casts will allow him to study the tracks in detail back in the lab.
Pop it out, perfectly detailed. If the original gets damaged anymore, we can get photographs, measurements, drawings of this one.
Preserved in latex is the characteristic three-toed print of a mighty carnivore, like Allosaurus, which came to Lark's Quarry in search of a meal. These tracks tell a silent tale, the fateful meeting between a predator and its prey. It's the only trackway on Earth preserving an event that took only a few terrifying moments to occur, the interval between life and death.
Keep them narrow, yeah.
Using a simple tape measure, dinosaur trackers can read footprints like a book. They know how fast the creature was going, whether it was calmly walking or tensely stalking.
1.7 meters.
Like a detective at the scene of a crime, Tony Thirlborn takes detailed measurements so he can precisely reconstruct the movements of the killer.
4. The big one here is walking. His average speed overall, the big predator's average speed is 7 kilometers an hour, miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, thereabouts. And that's a pretty fair walking speed, let's say, for humans, but it's not in a hurry. What's interesting is that the first half of the trackway here shows long strides. The creature's walking along quite smartly. Halfway along, he suddenly slows down. The footprints become shallower. He starts to weave a bit from side to side. The creature's obviously becoming a bit more hesitant, a bit more careful and cautious as it approaches the waterhole down there. It's as if the creature is stalking something or trying to select its prey from the animals down at the waterhole here.
The hunter now had its prey in its sights. It even had 2 kinds of prey to choose from. These 2 dinosaurs, the plant-eating ornithopods and the small scavenging coelosaurs, mingle harmlessly together. Meat-eaters and plant-eaters side by side, unsuspecting, as they gather around the waterhole to drink. Into this scene plunges the carnivore, hungry to snack on these bite-sized monsters. The huge predator is spotted. The trackway reveals what happened next.
At least 160 small dinosaurs ran in the opposite direction over the tracks of that big predator. It looks very much, from the fact that they're all running together in the same direction, the same time, over that predator's tracks. It looks very much as if that's an escape route, an emergency way out, and they are taking it.
Trapped by their attacker, with their backs to the waterhole, the terrified animals have no choice but to run straight toward the carnivore. Their tiny tracks move at full speed toward the beast that has stalked them. Cut off and panic-stricken, they charge toward the gaping jaws of the predator and certain death. No one knows how many scavengers and plant-eaters died that day, but without their tracks, preserved in the sandstone of Australia's rugged outback, This remarkable glimpse of a moment in time 100 million years ago would have been lost forever. There was a time when footprints were simply footnotes to the story of the dinosaurs. But today, through the work of trackers like Tony Thoroughborn and Martin Lockley, we've seen the dinosaurs come alive and let them lead us back into the distant past.